Hello everyone, I'm Mary and this is my little corner called A Very Ordinary Cook. This is actually my very first YouTube video and honestly I'm a little bit nervous but super excited too. I've been waiting to do this for so long, so here we go. Today we are making a protein bread dough that works for everything: pizza, buns, bread, or whatever yummy thing you have got in mind. It is a total all-rounder. Alright, let's start. First thing you need is 1 cup of milk. Any kind, low fat, semi, or full fat, whatever's in your fridge. I'm using semi-skimmed milk with 1.5% fat today. Just make sure it is warm, not hot, not cold, just cozy warm. Because we are adding yeast and yeast is a bit picky. It only wakes up in a nice warm bath. I am adding 1 tablespoon of yeast to the milk. Now, yeast needs some food, and that food is sugar. Yes, yeast loves sugar just like I love my morning coffee. Normally, you would use 1 tablespoon of sugar for every tablespoon of yeast, but my family has a sweet tooth, so I'm going with 2. Now, just grab a fork or a spoon and give it a gentle mix. Nice and slow, like when you stir your coffee in the morning and you're still half asleep. To help the yeast wake up and get bubbly, it is best to cover it up. You can just pop a little plastic wrap or a lid on top of your cup, nothing fancy, and set it aside for about 5 minutes. Let it rest while the magic happens. Now, while we are waiting, let's get the rest of our ingredients ready. For this lovely protein bread, we will need 3 tablespoons of yogurt. Any kind is fine, whatever you have got. And 1 medium egg. Just make sure everything's at room temperature, okay? Cold ingredients make the yeast lazy and we want it full of energy today. So, in a metal bowl, mix your yogurt and egg together until they are nice and smooth. Okay. Alright, 5 minutes should be up by now. Let's check on our yeast mix. Look at that, all foamy and full of little bubbles. That's how you know your yeast is alive and happy. Alright, now we are gonna pour our yeast mix over the yogurt and egg. We don't need to mix it too much because the real magic happens later when we knead the dough. Everything will come together perfectly then. Now it's time for the flour. I'm using regular white pastry flour here. You can totally use whole wheat if you prefer, but just remember, whole wheat flour soaks up more liquid. So, with the same amount of milk and yogurt, your dough might turn out a bit stiff. I'm planning to use about 3.5 to 4 cups of flour. Why am I not giving you an exact number? Because every flour is a little different. Some are thirstier than others. So I like to add my flour slowly, 2 or 3 spoons at a time, and keep mixing as I go. And no need to sift it. Since we are knead the dough later, everything will come together nice and smooth anyway. I have used about 3.5 cups so far. That feels just right to me. Halfway through adding the flour, don't forget to add 1 teaspoon of salt. Now just keep mixing slowly until it starts to look like a dough. Once it does, it is time to get in there with your hands. And yes, we are kneading. I used to do this with a stand mixer, but honestly, dough kneaded by hand is so much better. There is something magical about the warmth of your hands. It really brings the dough to life. Now, you'll see the dough sticking to your hands and the bowl. That's totally normal. They usually skip this messy part in videos. So you might think you are doing something wrong, but you are not. Keep going gently and it will start to come together. If your dough feels too wet, just sprinkle in a little bit more flour. But be careful not to overdo it. Now my dough is ready. It is soft, just a little bit sticky and feels amazing. It is time to wash my hands and add 2 tablespoons of oil. Any kind of oil that you normally use when you want to cook, okay? It is totally based on your taste. I also rub a bit of oil on my hands so it is easier to knead. The dough is already full of air, so we are not kneading hard, just gently folding it to mix the oil in. Each time you fold, tuck the dough under itself, like you're giving it a little hug. Once that's done, I move the dough to a clean bowl. Wash the metal one so no dry flour bits ruin our dough. Then give the bowl a light coat of oil. Now I place the dough inside, cover it completely with plastic wrap or a lid. And let it rest in a warm spot for about 1 hour until it doubles in size. So now that our dough is ready, let's talk a little about what we have got here. This dough weighs around 700 to 750 grams. Nice and fluffy, but still easy to work with. Altogether, it's got about 64 grams of protein, which is pretty amazing for a homemade dough. If you're making pizza, this amount of dough is perfect for about 3 25 centimeter or 10 inches pizzas with a nice soft crust. If you like your pizza thicker and breadier, you can make 2 pizzas instead. Totally up to you. And that's it. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what is coming next. We are gonna make all kind of little miracles with this dough. All with the simple tools you already have at home, right here in my cozy little kitchen. Goodbye for now.